The global EV industry is set to significantly increase in market size over the next decade, and many companies are looking to compete with Tesla to be the next dominant EV player. One such company, NIO, has been called the Chinese Tesla. In today's video, we will explore NIO and the brilliant founder behind it, William Li. William Li, or Li Bin, was born in August 9, 1974, in a small village in the Chinese province of Anhui. Life was difficult for him from a young age, as he did not come from a very prosperous family. His father worked in a coal mine, and his mother worked in a garment factory. Thus, he would spend most of his childhood with his grandparents. His parents were so busy working, saving up money for the family, that they did not get to see their son that often. As a young child, he lived with his grandfather and grandmother in Wuling village, where his job was to count money and to keep accounts for his grandpa who sold cows. At just 6 years old, he would wake up early each morning to work on the farm and interact with customers. From such a young age, he was exposed to principles of business, and he quoted, "Either make short-term money or make future money. A good business is to make money today and make money tomorrow. Tomorrow will make more money than today, and you can use the least money to make the most money." He was ambitious even as a young child, but he knew that he did not want to spend the rest of his life taking care of cattle and sheep and keeping account of money. He wanted to go outside and to explore the world. His family saved money for him as early as 7 years old so that one day he could eventually attend university. But they did not have high expectations for William. They thought that if he could find a job to support himself financially, they would be very happy. Never, in their wildest dreams, did they expect William Li to become the person that he is today. In his youthful years, Li completely dominated the national entrance exam with a top score, and he attended Peking University, the #1 university in the country, where he acquired his bachelor's degree in sociology as well as a minor in law. Unlike most Chinese students at the time who just focused on one thing, Li had diverse interests in undergraduate studies and would study sociology, computer science, and law. This is why William Li is such a well-rounded person today. He was extremely strong in computer science and felt that his future would lie as a computer programmer. He worked extremely hard in school and supported himself financially by working a dozen of different part-time jobs. In the 1990s, China was growing extremely quickly and the internet was about to take off. While he was still studying at Peking University in 1996, he founded Beijing Antarctic Technology Development, which was one of the earliest internet companies in China. The company focused on helping offline car companies come online, but he only found modest success with the company as the internet was still not mature enough of a platform at that time. But he didn't give up, and it wouldn't be long until he found his first bucket of gold. In Chinese, there is an expression called "di yi tong jin," or the first bucket of gold. This means the first fortune you made in your life. It is your initial capital you will use to build up a larger fortune later on. By 2000, the internet had reached a mature enough stage. And in June 2000, he founded Bitauto, which initially started out as a car review website. Today, it is one of the largest Chinese digital platforms providing web content and marketing services for China's automotive industry. But Bitauto actually had very humble beginnings. William Li would interview high-profile movers and shakers in the industry and do whatever he could to grow the company. There were good times and bad times in the company, but over the course of 10 years, on November 17, 2010, at the age of 36, Li took Bitauto public on the New York Stock Exchange. His dream took him 10 years, but he finally got it done. William Li would indeed find his first bucket of gold. The success of Bitauto, which employs more than 3,000 people and covers 340 cities in China, has led Li to be referred to in his country as the godfather of the transport sector. William Li would go on to co-found and invest in over 40 companies in the internet and automotive industries. But by November 2014, William Li was inspired and determined to create his own project to propel the development of the electric vehicle industry. He was already a billionaire at the time and was thinking of ways that he could best impact the world. He was inspired by Lei Jun, the founder of Xiaomi, who was trying to transform an internet company into a hardware company, and he wanted to replicate Xiaomi's business model using cars. Lei Jun was the first person William Li knocked on when he was trying to raise money. In 2014, Xiaomi was at the top of the world, and Lei Jun had already met with many car manufacturers who wanted to partner with Xiaomi. But Lei Jun was so inspired by William Li's vision and focus that he decided to invest in him. Others also believed in him, including Pony Ma of Tencent and Richard Liu of JD.com. Suddenly, NIO came to life. NIO started in 2014 with the vision to build a global startup. Although the company's focus was initially in China, NIO was built as an international company from the beginning, and today has locations in Shanghai, China, Beijing, China, San Jose, California, Munich, Germany, Oxford, London. Now, NIO's first problem was the design of the car. You see, no matter how great the technology a car has, if it doesn't look good, consumers are not going to want it. In the autumn of 2014, William Li began traveling between China and Europe to try to establish NIO's design team. He had already met with hundreds of European designers from early morning to late nights and was trying extremely hard to find the right person to lead NIO. William Li was getting very tired. After countless meetings that went nowhere, it seemed like he couldn't find the who to solve this problem. But there is a saying that if you knock on 100 doors, you will eventually find the right door to knock on. William Li eventually met with Chris Thomason at the Rawlinson Cafe in Munich. You see, Chris Thomason was working at BMW at the time as head of exterior design for BMW I, and what was supposed to be an introductory meeting turned into a 3-hour-long discussion. William Li and Chris saw eye to eye on automotive and industrial design philosophies, and William Li started getting a tingling feeling because he thought that he had found the one. He invited Chris to Shanghai for a few days with his family to open his eyes to China, and Chris was absolutely amazed at what he saw. He quoted, "The future of the electric car is in China," and he did not want to leave. And it was during that trip that Chris decided to resign from BMW and accept the position as NIO's VP of Design. Now, there was a lot of hype about NIO from that point on, and NIO led a pack of Chinese EV startups with investors looking for China's Tesla or the Tesla killer. During the next few years, NIO quickly designed and produced different electric vehicles. In November 2016, NIO presented a vehicle that would challenge the supercar paradigm, the EP9, the fastest autonomous vehicle. It broke several EV and non-EV production car records and autonomously lapped the track at the Circuit of the Americas in Texas and gained the reputation as one of the world's fastest electric supercars. Soon after, the ES8 debuted in December 2017. It was the company's first production car, which was a 7-passenger SUV that cost half the price of a Tesla Model X in China. Although these were some of the company's early successes, many investors started losing confidence quickly due to low production numbers and were extremely frustrated by the company making loss after loss. By 2019, China had 635 EV startups on paper, but very few had produced a single car, and most of them looked doomed as government and private financing started disappearing. NIO lost $3.67 billion between 2017 and 2019, selling less than 32,000 cars. NIO needed financing and thought a strategic way to do that was to IPO. NIO would eventually IPO on the New York Stock Exchange in 2018 for about $10. However, shares of NIO would drop to close to $1 as investors began fleeing over the next few years. By early 2020, NIO had many problems, including the US-China trade war, the loss of Chinese government subsidies for electric vehicles, a battery recall, and massive overhead. They also ran into significant cash flow problems. In fact, it was reported that the company was paying their employees late and asked their employees if they would take bonuses in the form of stock units. But William Li remained optimistic and determined to carry his vision through. You see, he had faced difficult times before in the past, and he was not going to let minor setbacks hurt him or his company. Many people thought that NIO was close to bankruptcy as its liquidity reserves were quickly draining and the pandemic was hitting China hard. But suddenly, a white knight appeared. NIO eventually received a lifeline in the form of a $1 billion investment from entities led by a municipal government in China in April 2020, alleviating cash concerns temporarily. NIO's stock price would almost increase tenfold in 2020 as the company was given a second life. Fast forward to 2021. Today, William Li and NIO are in much better shape financially and continue to market their flagship vehicles, the NIO ES6 and the NIO EC6. In April 2021, NIO achieved a key production milestone, rolling out its 100,000th vehicle off its production line. This led Tesla's Elon Musk to tweet, "Congrats to NIO, that is a tough milestone." While Tesla and NIO are competitors in China, the global EV market is big enough to support multiple players, and NIO is much more than just an automobile company. NIO hosts a flagship event every year called NIO Day, similar to the yearly events that Apple hosts. Cities from all over China bid to be the host of NIO Day, as it's an event that brings excitement and joy in the streets of China. NIO's showrooms are some of the most impressive car showrooms in the world, and they pride themselves in giving exceptional customer service, giving their users an amazing experience. NIO also revolutionized the showroom by creating the NIO House experience. NIO houses are showroom concepts that revolutionize the traditional automotive sector and made to feel like a second home. There is an area for kids to play in, a kitchen to grab a cup of coffee, and a forum, which is a small area for discussions and presentations. The NIO House even has a library with more than 1,000 books and magazines for you to enjoy. In some ways, NIO is performing the role of the second home in China, similar to what Starbucks does in America, a place where you and your family and friends can just come and hang out. NIO's vehicles also come with a special built-in AI assistant called Nomi, which entertains you in your vehicle. It can even help you take a selfie. Something else unique to NIO's business strategy compared to other EV companies are battery swap stations, or battery as a service. Instead of having consumers waiting for a battery to charge, NIO allows you to swap them instead. Batteries are expensive, so instead of paying for the battery and the cost of the vehicle, customers can pay for a monthly subscription to the service. Whenever you need more power, you simply back your car into one of the company's garages and a machine automatically installs a freshly charged battery for you, and then you drive off. In the US, most electric car owners may have a charger in a garage that they can charge overnight, but drivers in China are more likely to live in apartments and not have similar access. The company that William Li built is also a reflection of some of his own personal values. He has a humble and reserved demeanor and has extreme attention to detail. He is very observant, and there is a great deal of thought before he speaks. He is married with children, but is known for his extreme work ethic, and often his family has to force him to take vacations. He is not extravagant, even though he is a billionaire, and he still takes the train and airplane with regular economy tickets. He does not like to own real estate, and friends have said that he does not care if a bottle of wine is $60 or $600. He is a minimalist. His sole focus is on the growth of NIO and achieving his vision. Take a look at the vision of NIO by its mission statement. The automotive industry is on the cusp of profound change. We believe it isn't just products and technology that must change. It is how people use these products and their entire ownership experience. We want you to feel positive again about owning a car. In fact, the Chinese name Weilai means blue sky coming and is also represented by the symbol of NIO. Through all the accomplishments of NIO, it's easy to forget where William Li came from, so I want to remind you. He had extremely humble beginnings and had a very poor childhood that presented him with many disadvantages in life. He worked extremely hard in college, juggling multiple jobs to support himself while getting an education. He did not let the circumstances of his life prevent him from accomplishing his dreams. Through hard work and perseverance, he proved that anything was possible. So let me ask you, are you going to make your dreams come true too through hard work and perseverance? I hope you enjoyed this video. Our channel focuses on inspirational stories that focus on daily 1% improvement. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to help the channel out. So, what do you feel about the future of William Li and NIO? Do you feel that they can accomplish their vision? Drop a comment below and we'll be sure to address it in the next video. Until then, see you next time. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell notification to the right.